Hey friends, I wanted to bring you a hopeful update, but I am going to bring you a realistic update with a tiny bit of hope at the end. So let's get into it. If you want to watch my previous video where I talked about the fact that 6 FBI officials had been basically given notice that they had to either resign, retire, or be fired on Monday, and that I felt like that was a ticking clock and that they needed to act before Monday, you can go watch this video. But I have an update on this issue. So it turns out that the timeline was sped up and they were not given until Monday. They were forced out today. This article came out at 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And not only were these 6 high-level FBI officials escorted out of the building, but all of the prosecutors who worked on the January 6 prosecutions were also pushed out, fired. You can pause to read the above if you would like. Now, this is the most alarming part to me, although all of it is alarming, but it says 6 top leaders in the FBI's headquarters in Washington were also forced out. They included Robert Wells, who oversaw the National Security Branch, Ryan Young of the Intelligence Branch, Robert Nordwall of the Criminal and Cyber Response, Arlene Gaylord of Information Technology, Jackie McGuire of Science and Technology, and J. William Rivers of Human Resources. This is a purge. This is very scary. I am trying to stay grounded here. I am trying to stay hopeful. But when you look at the things that happen in an authoritarian regime, this is one of the first things that happens when they take over, is they purge people who they think could potentially investigate them for the crimes that they are committing or have committed. So I really thought we had a couple days here, but I guess I should have been more aware of the fact that dictators are going to dictate. Also, the special agent in charge of the Miami office was fired, as well as the Las Vegas field office. The thing that upset me, I think, the most is that all of those 6 officials that I mentioned who are high level in charge of major departments, other than one of them, they are all eligible for retirement. And most of them, many decided to retire instead of fighting these terminations, which they could have done under the civil service regulations that govern non-political appointees. They spent decades working their way up, and they're just going to give it all up. They're just going to walk away. They're just going to leave the FBI in ruins. This just doesn't make any sense to me, guys. And maybe I am too optimistic, and maybe I have worked on too many shows where FBI are the heroes, and maybe that's what is driving this. And believe me, I know that there is corruption, but this just feels monstrous, honestly. But I'm going to leave you with a little bit of hope because I have to, okay? So here it is. So even if our FBI is completely gutted and no longer in play, there's this. So the Secret Service has its own cyber crime unit. And it focuses on cyber crimes that involve financial fraud, identity theft, and threats to banking systems, but it also does more than just that. I'm going to move my head out of the way so you can screenshot, and then I'll come back and show you more. I want you to focus on number 4. Do you see the second bullet point underneath number 4? Competition security threats. Now, I know it says in coordination with DHS and FBI, but they also can do their own investigations. This explains how they investigate cyber crimes. I will move myself so you can read all of it. And I want you to pay attention to the one above my head. One of the ways they investigate is through undercover cyber sting operations. They also work internationally with Interpol, Europol, and UK's National Crime Agency on cross-border cyber crimes. As we have been talking about, this is international, this is global. They could definitely be part of the task force working on this. And it's important to note they are able to make arrests. So, with that being said, I cannot guarantee that that is happening. But if I was writing the story in this fictional episode of television that I'm going to pitch to you now, I think that would be an interesting storyline. That would be an interesting plot twist. And here's the thing. Secret Service are not political. They take an oath to the Constitution. They do not take an oath to the person in the position that they are protecting. They take an oath to the Constitution. And they have a duty to follow through on these investigations. Now, they are overseen by Department of Homeland Security. The woman in charge of that was appointed by the Orange Monster. He could force her to shut down an investigation. That very well could happen. But I don't know. Just saying, do you want to piss off the people who protect you every single day when your life is literally in their hands? Maybe he doesn't care. Maybe it doesn't matter. Or maybe he doesn't even know that they are currently part of the investigation, if there is one, which you know how I feel about it. But knowing they have a specific cybercrime unit, knowing the access they have to intel, knowing they do cyber sting operations, knowing how close they are to the center of it all, just gave me a little bit of hope in what feels like an ominous day. So I am sending you love. I am sending you solidarity. Until the next one.